Then you have your processes. This is what I need to measure. This is what success looks like. These are my KPIs, my metrics, etc.
If you don't have data now, then you don't know anything at all because you're not going out to see for yourself and you don't have the data in order to formulate a plan.
Trust is a key factor
Yes,
as well with
for
data
sure.
because if you don't know where your data is, or if users don't know where the data is coming from, they don't trust the accuracy of it, there's no accountability.
And I think, guys, this is something that you definitely need to attend because data is everything. Like, hi, Rae.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, I know you were telling me about data, but when I hear data, I understand data, but I want to hear more as to how could you offer your strategy to companies, to individuals who may not understand the need for data.
Oh, so yes. Most organizations don't realize that data is an asset. The phrase data is your new oil has been going around for since 2017 or even earlier. People even say, I say that data is the new air. But many times people don't realize that data is an asset within the organization. They see it as an expense, but they don't see it as an asset. So first of all, by recognizing that data is one of your greatest assets within your organization is where we'd start.
Yes.
Many times people don't even realize as well how much data their organization has, how much data they've been collecting. They probably use a statistic showed about maybe 3 years ago that companies in Trinidad in particular were using 1% of the data that they collected, which is alarming.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And being in sales, I know that data is so important because simple as understanding your sales reps where they're going to sell today, their route, and what knows that they got and why they didn't got to know, and what will be the follow-up procedure. All this is data that could be absorbed into a CRM software or maybe some software that you utilize or maybe you would want to provide to a business per se. So for sales individuals in particular, how could they better use data to achieve their quota or obtain their sales goals?
So even before that, I would work backwards in finding out, if we're speaking about salespeople, what are their end goals? What are you trying to achieve? So most of the times you would have some sort of business strategy or business plan at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the quarter, or even at the beginning of the month that says this is your target. And you have a plan about how you go about achieve that. Many times people have the business plan down, but they don't have a plan to use their data or don't even understand what data they have. So you have your business strategy. Where I come in at Tabulous Analytics, my company, is that we help organizations understand their data strategy. We have them most of the times build out a data strategy because 9 out of 10 times they don't have that data strategy. And what that data strategy is really a plan to help you understand how to use the data that you have, the processes, the people, and the technology to achieve your goals, to help you drive decision making in a manner that's accurate, accountable, transparent, and timely. Many times we miss the timely part of it because by the time we process the data, we get the insights, that process takes so long that our targets would have shifted, new issues would have arisen and stuff. So it's all about a combination of different things to help you achieve those targets. So what we do, we take your existing plan, we help you build out a data plan, and then we align those.
That is so interesting. And Rae, I would say that, as you mentioned, companies, they're utilizing like 1% of their data. And if it is that utilizing 1% of your data, that means you don't know your true company growth.
Exactly.
So it's all about data because if it is you don't have data, what do you know? It's happening on the trade. Like, it had this one company, I wouldn't even say the name of the company, and they have their sales manager, but that person wouldn't go out on the trade. So if it is that person not going out there, they wouldn't understand as to what is been happening. But then if you don't have data now, then you don't know anything at all because you're not going out to see for yourself and you don't have the data in order to formulate a plan. So that company's growth, you would never be able to see the true potential.
That's true, and that's a common problem we see not just in Trinidad, we see it regionally. I would even say globally, I'll dare say globally.
Yeah.
But what I see happening in many organizations, you go in and they tell you, oh, we have this software, we have this platform, and it has an AI reporting tool. And I'd ask, okay, so what are those reports telling you? What are your sales? What are your what are the areas that you need to improve on? What are your metrics? What are you measuring? What does success look like? And many times they don't know. And the data is there. Not just the data. We collect the data, but then we process that data. We clean the data, we manipulate the data, we process the data, and we get the insights. But we're not even looking at the insights to help us drive decision making. It's right there, and we're not using it. So many times organizations, first of all, don't even know what data they're collecting, or they may have an idea of what data they're collecting. They have no metrics. They don't know what success looks like, or they're not measuring anything tangible.
Yeah.
And they're operating blindly. So if you used your data strategically, and it's nothing technical, it's just understanding, okay, success looks like this.
Right.
My target for the month is 100K. I need to sell X amount. I need to do this. I need to do that. What do I need to measure? I need to measure how many products I'm selling. I need to measure the cost price. I need to measure the sales price. I need to measure how many products are being returned. I need to measure my profits.
And
Because-
all this could be achieved in one data, let's say, portal or format.
Yes, it could. So you can do reports, you can create dashboards, which are visually representations of data, visual representations of data using charts, graphs, etc. That can help you at a glance get that snapshot and that overall view of your company. That is how you drive decision making using data, using information that's accurate, that's timely. You know where the data is coming from, you can trust it, and you use it. Trust is a key factor as well with data, because if you don't know where your data is, or if users don't know where the data is coming from, they don't trust the accuracy of it. There's no accountability. And accountability doesn't mean blame, it just means understanding that, okay, if we have an issue with this data or this information is incorrect, who do we go to get it corrected? It's not about saying Antonio did the wrong thing and Antonio's reports are always incorrect.
Yes.
It's saying, okay, Antonio, these products are inactive. Let's remove them. Accountability is helping you to get the data right. It's not about pointing fingers and blaming. But once you have all of that in place, you start building that culture where users will start using the information at hand to make decisions. So instead of blindly saying, okay, I'm going to order 10 of product X this month because we sold 5. You sold 5, but 3 will return, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, no.
Have
So
you
it's
looked
the
at
fact
that?
that you sold-
Exactly.
yeah.
Are you
It
looking
should
at
be
that? Are you
Yeah.
looking at your profits? You sold 5, right? But could it be that, you sold 5 because one customer bought 5?
Yeah.
Those things, all these things
All these
impact,
things, yeah.
how fast your stock is moving, etc. So there are multiple variables when you're measuring sales or when you're looking at sales, and the data is there. You just need to look at it. But first of all, you need to understand or start with being curious. What questions do I have? What do I need to understand? What do I need to measure? How can I measure it? What data do I have that will help me measure this? And then the approach is, it starts with the people.
Right.
People have the questions, they need the insights. Then you have your processes. This is what I need to measure. This is what success looks like. These are my KPIs, my metrics, etc. Once your people are aligned with you or help you formulate or align with the right processes, I can guarantee you that any technology will work for you. So it's not about having what we call, quote unquote, the best BI tool or the best data visualization tool. You can be using Excel and it will work for you. If you have the right people and the right processes, you can be using tools like Tableau, Power BI, and they'll work for you as well with the right people and with the right processes. But if you don't have proper processes, you don't have the right people driving it, your technology will always be the problem. The problem is most organizations tend to start with the technology first and then work backwards to the people. That is the wrong approach. And many times because of that, 9 out of 10 times projects fail. People don't adopt using data.
And what about persons who are selling an intangible product?
And like
service providers. Yeah.
So you can't measure success. I am a service provider. I provide services to clients. My service is my product.
Yes.
It takes time. My workshops.
Yeah.
I do a lot of data workshops. They take time to put together the workshop, the materials for the workshop. So there is a cost attached to my product.
Right, yeah.
And there is a profitability. So there's an industry benchmark of how you calculate profits for services as well.
Right.
So your service, intangible products, are somewhat tangible because there's a cost attached to creating them, to providing them, and even the profits attached. I'm providing a service, but if I need to outsource your service, that's a cost attached to me as well, and my service.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there are metrics because, okay, how much will it cost me to do a data confidence workshop? I need to have access to a platform,
Right.
Zoom. We start with technology first, even though I just contradicted that. I need to have the content built out. I need to have people to support me on the Zoom platform. I need to market the workshop. I need to do that. So there are a lot of costs attached to that one workshop.
Right.
The workshop is not a physical product. It's intangible. But at the end of the day, do I make a profit? Do I not make a profit? How many seats did I sell? How many participants did I have in my workshop? All are metrics that I have, and the data that I use, the data that I look at, will help me figure out if I'm being profitable or not. If I see a week before my workshop, I only have 3 people registered, and my target was I needed to register at least 20 people.
Right.
That I know I'm already running at a loss.
Yeah.
A huge loss too.
Mm-hmm.
If I see I have 15 people, then I would be like, all right, I'm past the half mark. I'm at 75%. I'm still good, but I want to push because I want to make my target. So there are metrics that you measure, that KPIs that guide with intangible products and services as well.
I love that. And you mentioned about a workshop. What is that you have coming up?
I have a data leadership workshop. So what I'm doing is on April 16th, I'm hosting a workshop called Data at the Leadership Table.
Is this for only leaders in businesses, or this could be for someone who wants to become a leader?
This is for someone who wants to become a leader. It's someone who, many times I hear people tell me, well, I'm not a manager, I'm not a leader. We are all leaders in our own space.
Yeah, so true.
So it's for everyone who wants to lead, who wants to be able to use data. But more so, where I see the gap, as I would have mentioned before, we have the people, we have the processes, we have the technology. Many times our people don't have the support they need to guide the decision-making process. The decision-making is done at the top level with our leaders, with our executives, etc. This workshop is geared to help leaders understand that whole process of data analytics. So when we talk about data analytics, people think that it's manipulating data or data engineering, or it might just be data visualization, or it might be data storytelling. Data analytics is a number of processes. It's a roadmap that guides you through starting with your data to making a decision. There are a number of steps along the way. My workshop focuses on that for leaders, but it helps you to understand as well or to develop that data strategy that I spoke about. What is your plan with data? How do you plan to use it? How do you plan to get that transparency, accountability, trust, etc.? How do you build out that data strategy? And beyond that, how do you humanize that data strategy?
Right.
And at the workshop, I have a leadership coach who will be working with me. His name is Edward Chuburuso. And he is going to help us with the human elements of that data leadership part. So it's a one-day workshop on April 16th. It's from 9 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time and Eastern Time. But there's also a workshop and 4-week coaching program elements of it. So you can do the one-day workshop on its own, or we have that 4-week program where you get, over 4 weeks, you get 4 coaching sessions, one with me, one with Edward. So I'll be the data lens. Edward is the leadership lens with us to help you start to develop that data strategy.
Okay, that sounds excellent. And I think, guys, this is something that you definitely need to attend because data is everything. Like, if it is that you start a business today or tomorrow and you want to really understand your competitors, understand the industry and ways that you could be strategic, you can only do that with data. And if you don't have data, it's like non-existent. So it's important.
So if you want to know more about the workshop, we will put my LinkedIn page in the comments. We'll also share one of the flyers and a link to register, but you can check out my LinkedIn page. It will be tagged in the comments. And you can follow my company, Databulous Analytics, as we go along this journey. But yes, I agree with Antonio. You need to register today for this workshop. You won't regret it.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
It's a pleasure, Antonio.
Okay, welcome.